I have some bad news. I did not get the job at Fruit Loops.
Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 Eric Andre street pranks.
I'm ready to buy right now.
Open that button.
I will not buy if you want me to get naked. I don't feel like that's appropriate. Can you help me? Can you stop putting me on Instagram and can you follow me on Instagram?
Time to deliver a pizza ball! Time to deliver a pizza ball!
For this list, we'll be looking at the greatest, funniest, and most shocking street pranks performed by Eric Andre. We won't be including pranks done in the studio, and we'll only be including pranks starring Andre himself, as much as we love Trina's prison escape prank. But we will look at clips from his movie Bad Trip. Which of these pranks do you find the funniest? Let us know in the comments. Number 20. I Saw a Girl Today. Bad Trip. Creating a musical number requires one key ingredient: music. Fortunately for the audience at home, music has been added in post-production.
I saw a girl today, the one that got away.
Unfortunately for those in the public, they're subjected to a man covered in blood singing a song without musical accompaniment.
I saw a girl today, I saw a girl, no way.
What do you do?
As Chris, Andre appears splattered with blood, his hand having been previously caught in a blender. He proceeds to sing a song called I Saw a Girl Today to everyone's great surprise, and some people's frustration, like the guy who kicks Andre square in the chest. Things get even funnier when Andre is joined by synchronized dancers, resulting in a genuine musical moment in the middle of a food court, without music. Suffice it to say, the reactions are gold. Number 19. Fartsplosion, the Eric Andre Show. This skit begins with Andre pretending to be a window cleaner who accidentally breaks the window and walks into a focus group.
Anybody using a focus?
He then pretends to be a hidden camera prank show host who is merely pretending to be a window cleaner.
That stinks, but I'll tell you what doesn't stink.
You've been on Fartsplosion this entire time.
The fictional show in question, Fartsplosion, and it apparently just involves a host farting and breaking nearby windows. This prank serves as a brilliant joke within a joke, the target being stupid prank shows as much as it is the focus group. The satire includes a weirdly bombastic celebration with balloons and confetti, hilarious interviews with the targets, and Andre giving away $5 bills and signed photos of himself for their participation.
When you're on Fartsplosion, you make money, and we all farted before you guys got here.
Number 8. Eric's on the Street, the Eric Andre Show. This prank sees Andre dressing up in an elaborate puppet contraption that results in 5 different Eric Andres.
Ooh, which one is the real me?
He proceeds to bother people on the streets, scaring some with loud, crazed yelling, accidentally hitting some with the puppet arms, and repeatedly poking one poor guy in the privates. He also disrupts traffic by standing in front of cars and acts belligerently in an adult video store before falling and getting stuck in the doorway.
I'm trying to shop in the store. I'm an American. I'm agreeing with you.
It's borderline annoying, with Andre coming across like an intoxicated man without filter or care. But the absurdity of it all somehow works, and that's exactly what makes him such an expert prankster.
I really am stuck.
Number 17. Watching adult entertainment in public, the Eric Andre Show. Sometimes it's the simplest ideas that generate the biggest laughs. For example, loudly watching explicit content in a busy cafe. It's not very complex, and it's likely been done to death by mischievous high school students everywhere. But it's a hilarious premise nonetheless, and Andre makes it work, as he always does. Unfortunately, every face in the cafe is blurred, so viewers can't see their reactions. One helpful, albeit frustrated man approaches Andre and offers to turn the sound off.
I'm just gonna turn the sound off.
Mind you, he offers to turn just the sound off and is seemingly cool with Andre watching this in public. The skit ends on a hilarious note, with the camera zooming in on one bystander. Even with the blur, his grin is obvious. Number 16, Officer Eric Needs Help, The Eric Andre Show. Just imagine this. You're walking down the street minding your own business when you see a police officer handcuffed to a pole, his pants down around his ankles.
Can you help me pick my pants up, please? If you could just help me put my foot over the cuffs.
That's pretty much the premise of this prank. Andre plays a cop who has somehow managed to get himself in a precarious situation. Don't ask how, it's a long story. Or so he tells an inquiring citizen.
How the hell do you wind up like that?
It's a long story, I can't get into it right now, but I need help.
Perhaps unsurprisingly, everyone just stands around taking pictures of Andre with their phones while laughing at his misfortune. Honestly, this prank takes a lot of bravery.
What is it up for me?
It's $30.
Bet, where your keys at?
Do not touch it. Do not touch it.
Touch me.
Who else but Eric Andre would dress up as a cop, strip down to their underwear, and handcuff themselves to a pole to be gawked at by the public? Number 15, Cement Shoes, The Eric Andre Show. This prank ends with the subject asking,
What the f is going on right now?
It's an apt question. The prank begins with Andre emerging from the water with a black eye and cement shoes, telling a nearby construction worker that he was pushed out of a boat.
Help! Help me!
A Tony Soprano lookalike then shows up and inquires about Andre, offering the worker a pizza coupon for his help. Luckily, the man keeps quiet. Andre then reappears, offers the man a shrimp, and speeds away on his scooter.
You want a shrimp?
Bro,
I've been swimming with the fishes.
that's what's up. You should have stayed in that shit.
You're asking me questions, so I'm trying to explain.
I'm not asking you shit.
We don't know what the backstory is between Andre's character and the Mafia, but we'd love to hear it. It's a funny concept for a prank, and it's made all the better by the hilarious and memorable target.
It's powered by electric eels. Eat your heart out, Elon Musk. I'm out of here.
Number 14, Subway Centaur, The Eric Andre Show. Hopping on a New York City subway car in a Centaur costume, Eric Andre can barely get through the doors. With Andre's costume taking up half the aisle, passengers climb seats just to get by him. If his costume wasn't bizarre enough, Eric is also carrying 2 cakes with him on the train. Unable to hold onto the bars, Andre quickly loses his balance and throws cake onto the passengers. Despite Eric's attempts to apologize, one rider is so angry that he threatens Andre.
You want this other one?
You want them in your face? You want them in your face?
Even next to his other memorable subway pranks, the outlandish costume and props make this a standout. Number 13, Pizza Ball, The Eric Andre Show. With this prank, Eric Andre proves that total randomness can be hilarious. He shows up to a dojo dressed like a jester and delivers a pizza ball.
Somebody ordered this pizza ball, dude. I'm not paying for this.
When no one claims it, Andre simply throws it on the ground. He then whips out a Scientology pamphlet because why not?
Pizza aside, let's talk Scientology.
Andre is so irritating that the red-faced teacher screams at him to leave and chases him out the door with a bow staff. Absolutely nothing about this prank makes sense, but that's exactly what makes it work.
It's Karate Kid law. If I challenge you in your dojo, you gotta let me take the class.
Sometimes the funniest pranks are the ones that have its targets shaking their heads in complete bewilderment. And any prank that ends with a bow staff is a winner in our book. Number 12, Dream Sequences, Bad Trip. One of the most unique aspects of Bad Trip are the hidden camera dream sequences.
You alright?
Yeah, come on.
You like hitting on women at farmers markets?
Throughout the film, Chris, played by Andre, fantasizes about Maria, played by Michaela Conlon, often placing the two of them in crude and/or embarrassing situations.
That is hot.
These fantasy sequences are filmed in the typical prank style, and they are hilarious.
Maria.
Chris? Oh god, yes. Yes, Chris, yes.
These sequences include crashing a conference and kissing on the table, and embarking on a 3-way makeout session with a wedding officiant. All are outlandish, all are funny, and all make us appreciate Andre's comedic genius. Number 11, Seinfeld, The Eric Andre Show. Opening on the iconic Tom's Restaurant and some slap-based music, it was hard to tell where the Seinfeld parody was going. Putting a realistic spin on Seinfeld's goofy scenarios, Eric's day gets ugly.
How f***ing dare you, motherfucker! You thought I wasn't gonna find out?
A woman starts yelling at Andre and beating him up in the diner, and the staff becomes understandably concerned.
Michelle.
After she throws drinks and food at Eric, even the customers start to worry. When she takes out a bag that's supposedly of her own waste, however, the mood goes from uncomfortable silence to frantic yelling in a split second. While intensely gross, the reactions, as well as the perfectly timed cut to Larry David's name, make this prank hilariously surreal. Number 10. Have you seen his dog? The Eric Andre Show.
Sir.
Standing with a dog on the sidewalk, Andre asks for help from anyone who passes by.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Most people just ignore him, but after a few attempts, he finally finds a willing victim. The sympathetic woman is understandably confused when he asks if she's seen his dog.
Hi, have you seen my dog?
But before she can do much else, he whips off his shades to reveal his complete lack of eyes, and starts screaming at the woman to describe the dog.
Describe him to me! Describe him to me!
Scaring the woman half to death, Eric even scores a few looks from nearby civilians. Unbelievably absurd, the skit highlights Andre's ability to take the narrative in truly unexpected directions. Number 9. He's a Potato. The Eric Andre Show. After getting a stuntman to wipe out in the street, Andre shows up dressed as a potato.
I'm a potato. Excuse me. Look at me.
He tries to inappropriately steal the spotlight, but people aren't having it. As soon as he starts squatting over the injured cyclist, the crowd gets violent, shoving Eric out of the way.
I love your energy.
Realizing how injured the man is, Eric drops a comical load of cash on him.
Oh, that guy's really hurt.
Using the crowd for his comedy, Eric pushes them until they push back. Along with the insane costume, it's Andre's totally detached reaction to the situation that keeps us laughing.
I'm a potato. What's going on? I'm a potato.
Number 8. The Army Recruiter. Bad trip. After falling out with his best friend Bud, Chris arrives at an Army recruitment center and hilariously asks,
What wars are going on now?
He tells the Reserve Officers Training Corps recruiter that he wishes to join the Army so he can die in battle, being depressed over the fight with Bud.
I lost my best friend. We got in like a huge falling out kind of fight. And I'll go over to Afghanistan or Iraq, stand on the front lines, and then just bombs away.
He declares his wish of going to Vietnam and makes a very crude offer before slapping himself and falling into a fit of crying. What makes this prank work so well is the soldier. He politely rebuffs Andre's offer and genuinely tries to help him with kind words and encouragement.
You just gotta get it together, man. Talk to your buddy and apologize to him and you'll be fine. Just tell him how you feel. Just tell him you're sorry.
He's the nicest target that Andre could have possibly found, and his reaction proves one of the most memorable aspects of the movie.
I was kind of like out of it, man. You brought me back. You brought me back, man.
Number 7. Craft Punked. The Eric Andre Show.
I have a new hidden camera show. Craft Punk.
Yeah, well, we know.
Looking like Daft Punk dipped in mac and cheese, Craft Punk is a disgusting dairy prankster. He makes such an obnoxious entrance that even Eric Andre is annoyed with him.
What's up, guys? I'm Craft Punk.
This guy sucks.
Showing off his own version of Punked, the prankster places cheese under unsuspecting passengers on a subway.
You just got Craft Punk. There's a hidden camera there. There's a hidden camera there. There's a hidden camera there. There's a hidden camera there.
As he points out all the hidden cameras, the passengers look more confused than excited. Making matters worse, he vomits tons of cheese in the train, causing people to run away from him. Craft Punk returned 1 season later to steal a basketball and cover it in cheese mid-game. Why? Impossible to say, but it was hilarious nonetheless.
Yes. Way to go. You just got Craft dunked.
Number 6. Fruit Loops. The Eric Andre Show. Sometimes people run from Eric Andre, and to be honest, we don't blame them. In this genius skit, Andre appears on the subway wearing a jumpsuit and head cone.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have some bad news. I did not get the job at Fruit Loops.
He's depressed over not getting a job with Fruit Loops and pours milk and cereal into his head cone. He then asks the subway riders to drink from him as he makes his way through the car, milk spilling from his cone and splattering on the floor.
Eat from me. Drink from me. Drink from me.
Everyone on the subway treats Andre like he's lost his mind, and many understandably run away to avoid both the man and the mess. From the target's perspective, this is a genuinely terrifying bit of buffoonery. As a prank, however, it's a brilliant bit of creativity and hilarity.
I didn't get the job at Fruit Loops.
Number 5. Buying a car. The Eric Andre Show.
Harry! That's me.
Going to a car dealership in a trench coat, Eric Andre uses one of the oldest tricks in the book.
I'm going to buy a car today.
Trying to pull off the children's totem pole prank, Andre and his partner are way too tall to be believable. In keeping with the bit though, Eric even lowers his voice to make him sound older.
I'm looking to buy a fine automobile from him.
I just don't trust anybody like that.
The disguise is so bad that Andre towers over the cars, and the outline of his partner's arms are clearly visible the entire time. The dealer asks him to remove the costume, but Eric insists he will not get naked for a car.
You want to see my genitals? That's not okay.
Taking a cartoonish prank into the adult world, Andre truly reinvigorated this classic gag.
Harry's Car Place. I don't trust like that.
Number 4. Black Scientologists. The Eric Andre Show.
L. Ron Hubbard is the true God. Black, there is no hell.
Taking to the streets, Eric and Hannibal reveal a painting of a black version of Scientology founder L. Ron Hubbard, insisting that his real name was L. Ron Hoyabembe.
Not a lot of people know this, but L. Ron Hubbard was a black man.
Truth?
It's a bold start to a skit. Proclaiming there is no hell, Andre nicely parodies religious demonstrators by second-guessing his own supposed beliefs.
Battlefield Earth should have been a Tyler Perry movie.
That's right.
But they really strike gold when they anger an actual religious demonstrator, who yells that he's the second coming of Christ.
I'm the second coming of Jesus Christ.
Prove it. Take a poop in front of us.
Andre and company throw it back at the man, challenging him to prove it by turning poop into wine.
Turn that poop into wine. Turn that poop into wine. Turn that poop into wine.
Mixing race and religion, Eric's outlandish concept makes this one of his most memorable skits.
Number 3. Ranch Guy. The Eric Andre Show.
It's time to ranch it up.
For one of his most abstract characters, Eric Andre plays a rave bro who's way too into ranch dressing.
Eric confuses just about everyone as he calls his inappropriate greeting and makes inappropriate comments about all the minorities he sleeps with.
Despite giving everyone skater nicknames, no one wants to drink his ranch dressing.
Mind if I hit this?
Eric even asks a man a graphic question before being promptly asked to leave, albeit in less kind words.
While later iterations of the bit saw the ranch guy don some seriously out there attire, there's just no topping the original, particularly the fake hoverboard and inexplicable Wii remote.
You're kind of like a hoverboarder.
Number 2. Bird Up. The Eric Andre Show.
Hey, you guys are watching Bird Up, the worst show on television.
Throwing on a green morph suit, Eric desperately tries to convince people he's doing a bit with his fake bird. It's pretty clear the suit is a distraction, however, when Andre starts touching people and harassing them.
No, I'm not even here. They're gonna morph me out. No, they won't even. I'm not even here. Bird Up.
Assuming he'll be edited out, the pedestrians let Eric get hilariously close. Things get really uncomfortable when a woman lets Andre stick a finger in her mouth, and then starts dancing with him. Despite the fact that Bird Up is allegedly the worst show on television, that hasn't stopped top-tier talent from working on it, as Chris Rock even directed a segment in season 3.
Hey, I didn't say cut because it was bad. I said cut because it was amazing.
Oh, thank you, Chris.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. At the RNC. The Eric Andre Show.
Hey, I'm Eric Andre. I'm here at the Republican National Convention.
When Eric arrived at the Republican National Convention, he rained on their parade both metaphorically and literally.
Black Lives Bladder.
He quickly gets in just about everyone's face to tackle their views on multiple sensitive topics.
Eric's antics get meta when he interviews people getting interviewed on TV, even cameoing on Breitbart's broadcast. Andre actually found himself getting attacked when Alex Jones invited him on stage.
The Daily Show's not a Pentagon weapon program.
I'm not on the Daily Show. I'm on MySpace.
Smiling through it all, he makes it impossible not to laugh when he compares the convention to Coachella. The prank even got his press pass revoked for the Democratic National Convention, so he interviewed the crowds instead. Eric Andre, a political correspondent unlike any other.
Oh shit, Hillary Clinton's here.
Oh, Hillary.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.